and welcome back to Sustainable Teacher. If this is your first time here, my name is Leticia and I'm glad to meet you. And if you've been here before, I'm happy to see you again. In today's video, we will start one of the 2 units of this year about geology. And we will start talking about changes that have happened and still happening in the earth, because even if we don't see these changes as fast, quick changes, the earth is always being renovated, we can say. So if this video sounds interesting to you, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. So in this first of 4 videos, we will talk about the changes that are happening in the Earth's surface, and also what's going on with the rocks, not only in the Earth's surface but the rocks in general. Okay, so we can classify the changes in the Earth according to if they are happening outside or inside. If they are happening inside the Earth, okay, not in the surface, because our whole Earth is made of rocks inside, we are going to call these changes endogenous changes, okay? But if they are happening on the surface of the Earth, we are going to call them exogenous changes. Which type of changes can we find inside each? So if we are talking about endogenous changes, we are talking about big geologic phenomena, okay, that are happening inside the Earth, like magma formation, metamorphic rocks. We will talk about metamorphism in a few videos. Big earthquakes, for instance. The movement of the plates, well, maybe this happen both inside and outside, okay? And in the end, all these processes are caused or are triggered by the internal energy of the Earth. We will talk about the origin of this internal energy in future videos also. On the other hand, in the case of the exogenous processes, those that are outside the surface of the Earth, they are mainly caused by the effects of the atmosphere and hydrosphere dynamics. So the atmosphere, the weather, the temperature, the climate, etc. will affect the rocks, and the rocks at the same time will affect the atmosphere, okay? It's both-sided. And it happens the same with the water, with the hydrosphere. Both atmosphere and hydrosphere will affect the rocks, will transform them, will transport them, okay? And they will change the shape of the mountains, the shape of the rivers, the way, the shape of the valleys. And at the same time, the ultimate energy in charge of these changes are gravity, of course, because water will always go from the highest point to the lowest point, and also solar energy, more related with the wind or with the temperature of water changing from ice to liquid water, etc. So talking specifically about those changes in the surface, in the morphology of the surface in the Earth, that is the landform, okay? We will talk specifically about 2 types. One that will kind of create new shapes, and another process that will degenerate old shapes, okay? The one that create new shapes is orogenesis, which is the creation of new chains of mountains. For instance, the last big orogenesis we have in the world, but of course in Spain, was the Alpine orogenesis, and it was due to the collision of the European plate. We will talk about the plates in the future, okay, but you know that the Earth is all divided in plates, because tectonic plates, because you learned this 2 years ago in the first year of the secondary education. Okay, so the Earth, the tectonic plates of the Euro-Asiatic plate and the African plates are collisioning, and due to this collision, the sediments that were in between them have been like arousing, okay, forming new mountains, starting by the Betic Mountains, the Pyrenees Mountain, Alps, okay, and even the Himalaya were created during this orogenic process that is still going on, by the way. So when we create new mountains, new landforms, it's called orogenesis. Usually it is related with mountains, okay? And when we start destroying all mountains, because after thousands and thousands of years, due to the wind, due to the water running down, due to the ice, and also animals and plants have something to see with this. Not only atmosphere and hydrosphere, the biosphere also affects the geosphere. So all the spheres are affecting each other. So these processes of degenerating old rocks, transporting those fragments of rocks from top points to bottom points in the mountains, for instance, thanks to the action of water in the river, for instance, and sedimenting those fragments once the river is not strong anymore to have not more energy to transport them. They will sediment and stay there. All these processes is called glyptogenesis, okay? In the case of the glyptogenesis, we have 4 main processes, which are meteorization, erosion, transport, and sedimentation. We will talk about this more in the future also. And this orogenesis and glyptogenesis process is like a cycle always for any rock, okay? So, or for any landform. Then a new landform will be formed during an orogenesis process. Once it is created, it will start suffering hydrosphere and atmosphere changes and dynamics, and it will start a new glyptogenesis process. And when they are still new, when they are again new sediments, if we still are in an orogenic process, like plates are collisioning, those sediments will go up again in a new orogenesis process and will be eroded again in a new glyptogenesis process. So it's something circular, it's a cycle, okay? And in any case, we will talk about when can we find each type of rock in the future, but we can say that in any process we can find whatever outside or in the inside of the earth, in an orogenesis or glyptogenesis process, it doesn't matter. Up to now we can find 3 main types of rocks, okay? Igneous or magmatic rocks. I prefer the name igneous. Magmatic, it's quite old and is not as much general as igneous, but you can find both and they are synonyms, more or less synonyms. So we have igneous or magmatic rocks, metamorphic rocks, and sedimentary rocks. Let's start by the sedimentary rocks, because as the name says, these are the rocks that are formed after sediments. So when a mountain is eroded, for instance, and the fragments of the rock are transported from the top of the mountain to the bottom, and they get sedimented in the bottom of the river when the river has no more energy to transport it and no more gravity affecting as well. Those sediments will start compacting over there. With the time, maybe the river will change its way or it will get dry, and these rocks will start cementing, and as a result they will form new rocks. These are the sedimentary rocks. And this will always happen in the surface. On the other hand, the igneous or magmatic rocks are the rocks that are formed inside the earth, not in the surface, except if they are volcanic. If they are like lava, resulting effect of lava when it gets dry is forming new rocks. So we can have igneous or magmatic rocks both inside the earth, mainly inside the earth, because for each kilometer we are going down, deep down inside the earth, the layers of the earth, we are augmenting 1 Celsius degrees. So in the nucleus of the earth we have almost 6,000 Celsius degrees. So rocks there, well, not always, but not for now, we won't talk about this for now. They are melted, and this is called magma. If they go up inside the earth, the temperature will be lower and they will change from melted to dry to solid, okay? Inside the earth, it doesn't have to be necessarily a volcano. So those rocks that get solid inside the earth are the igneous or magmatic rocks because they come from magma. When they get outside the surface through a volcano, they are not anymore called kind of magmatic rock. They are still magmatic or igneous rocks, but they receive the specific name of volcanic rocks. And finally, we have a third type of rocks, which are quite strange or weird, let's say. Let me explain. They are the metamorphic rocks. So the metamorphic rocks are rocks that have suffered a metamorphosis. They have been changed in composition without changing to a fluid, melted state. What could happen? It could happen both, mainly 3 things. So let's imagine we have a rock inside a cave, and through the cave is flowing an inner river. This could happen. The river has before passed by another area with another types of rocks, and when the river passed, the water dissolved some of the components of those rocks over there. And when they pass through these new rocks for some reason, pore size, temperature, whatever, those dissolved components get stuck in those new rocks and they crystallize over there. So as a result, we will have new components added to this rock without being fluid in any moment. The whole rock, just water just pass through with some sediments or some substances dissolved. So this could be a case. Another case is when some magma passes next to another rock, so they don't get melted, but they get kind of burnt. So they also have suffered changes in the shape or in the form or in the distance of the atoms due to this heat process. So this could be another way of getting metamorphic rocks. And the last is due usually to pressure. If, for instance, during an orogenesis, some rocks are getting really pressured, the size, the distance between the atoms will be changed, and as a consequence the crystal that we have before and after, because rocks are made of minerals and minerals in the end are crystals, so they are three-dimensional webs with atoms always located in the same exact precise position. If those distance change, the mineral is gonna be different, so the rock is gonna be different, okay? So it's due to pressure. These are the main 3 types of metamorphic rocks. And as well as with the orogenesis and glyptogenesis, we also have a cycle in the rocks. So a rock won't always be magmatic or igneous or metamorphic or sedimentary. They also change depending on what's going on in the surface or in the inner of the earth. Imagine I have we will start in the surface, and we are in a sedimentary area with sedimentary rocks, and due to a process called subduction between 2 plates, we will talk about this in the future, sometimes the crust will go under another crust and will be recycled into new crust for the future. So as they are going inside the earth, they are getting hotter there, so they will get melted, they get fluid. So they are not anymore a sedimentary rock. This could also happen with a metamorphic process in the middle. So in the beginning they were sedimentary, we start the subduction process. Due to all this pressure and friction, we will have some sedimentary rocks change it to metamorphic rocks, and if this is still going deep down, we will transform then finally in magmatic rocks. If in the future we have a new orogenesis process or a new volcano, those magmatic rocks will again get outside in the crust, in the surface of the earth, as a form of volcanic or igneous magmatic rocks. And once they get outside again, they will suffer again a process of glyptogenesis, erosion, etc., etc., and they will in the future again be sedimentary rocks. Or they can stay inside the earth, transform into magmatic rocks, and in the future, if some inner process of fluids or pressure or temperature happen, they can even inside the earth be transformed into metamorphic rocks. So it's a complex cycle. They can change from each type of rock to each type of rock depending on the process. And this is the end of the video for today. Not too many concepts, but very new and long to explain. So I hope you understand everything. Maybe this video is gonna be a bit long, but we will go little by little talking about each new vocabulary word, okay? So don't worry, I hope you will understand everything. If you have any doubts, please leave them in the comments, and of course, see you soon.